It squirts, it wiggles, and it looks wildly inappropriate. This creature might be the most bizarre thing you'll ever see served on a silver platter in the upscale dining rooms of Shanghai and Tokyo. This clam commands a price tag of over $150 per pound. It's created a multi-million-dollar empire, sparked poaching wars, and turned obscure beach divers into seafood tycoons. But behind the money is danger, mystery, and a growing global obsession. To some, it's a delicacy. To others, a status symbol. And for a few, it's an addiction. But what makes this weird, ancient clam so expensive? And could it all come crashing down? Meet the Geoduck, spelled G-E-O-D-U-C-K, but pronounced gooey duck. Yes, it sounds like a cartoon. But this is no Disney character. It's the world's largest burrowing clam, and one of the oldest living animals on Earth. Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest have harvested geoducks for centuries. The name comes from the Lushootseed word Geoduck, meaning dig deep. Some geoducks have been alive since the 1850s. That's over 170 years, predating the invention of the light bulb and Coca-Cola. Their lifespan rivals that of some of the oldest living animals on the planet. And while their shells only grow about 6 to 8 inches long, their siphons, the tubular necks they use to feed and breathe, can stretch out to an astonishing 3 feet in length, allowing them to live buried deep in the ocean floor for more than a century. Its shell might only be 8 inches long. But that siphon? It can stretch over 3 feet. That long neck isn't just for show. It's how the geoduck filters food, breathes, and lives buried for a lifetime. It lives so deep in the seabed that harvesting it takes scuba gear, pressurized, water, and serious patience. Geoducks are filter feeders, nature's vacuums, sucking in phytoplankton and organic particles day and night. They're native to the cold, Pacific waters of North America, from Baja California to Alaska. But their most prized habitats? The shores of Washington State and British Columbia. It's a creature of mud, mystery, and now million-dollar menus. But how did this long-living clam go from forgotten bottom feeder to luxury icon? To answer that, we need to talk about China. Walk into any high-end seafood market in China and you'll find it long, slimy, squirting, and sitting on ice with a price tag that can hit $150 a pound. Served raw as sashimi, blanched in hot pot, or stir-fried with garlic and spice. The geoduck is a showstopper. Its flavor, briny, sweet, crunchy. A true delicacy in East Asian cuisine. But this isn't just about taste. In China, geoduck is a status symbol. A symbol of wealth, vitality, even virility. The bigger the siphon, the bigger the statement. Here's the kicker. It takes 6 to 7 years just to reach market size. And with limited farms and strictly regulated, wild harvests supply has never caught up to the appetite, and it's not easy to get. Divers plunge into icy waters, often in total darkness, to dig 3 feet down, just to retrieve one clam. It's dangerous, labor-intensive, and fragile. One wrong move, and the prized siphon is damaged, making it unsellable. From deep sea to first-class cargo, the journey is delicate. The clam must arrive alive, fresh, flawless, and all of that adds cost. Why is the hunger for this animal ranked highest in the world in China? Many Chinese consumers believe geoducks have medicinal properties. Beyond flavor and rarity, geoduck is revered as a natural tonic, believed to boost energy, promote health, and yes, even serve as an aphrodisiac. From a niche seafood in the 1970s, To a booming $80 million global industry, demand for geoduck has skyrocketed, fueling an international trade chain that spans oceans. Despite booming demand, the supply remains tightly capped. Farming geoducks isn't like raising shrimp. It takes years, and wild stocks are fiercely protected to avoid collapse. Harvesting these giants isn't a simple dive. It's a high-stakes underwater excavation in freezing, murky waters. 1. Slip could ruin the haul, or the diver's safety. China's hunger for this creature is insatiable. But what happens when demand explodes, and nature can't keep up? That's when things start to break. Along the misty coasts of British Columbia, a silent gold rush is underway. Down below the waves, armed with hoses, air tanks, and surgical precision, divers plunge into icy waters, chasing a creature that can turn tides of fortune. This isn't your average shellfish harvest. These geoducks live deep, sometimes 3 feet under the sand. Harvesting them is a blend of art, patience, and risk. But when done right, the payoff is massive. This peculiar clam has created an $80 million global industry, with British Columbia alone accounting for over $55 million in annual exports. From local docks to international shipping hubs, it's a high-stakes operation, and nearly 90% of Canada's geoducks are flown straight to one place, China. In bustling seafood markets from Shanghai to Guangzhou, these clams are prized like jewels, auctioned off to the highest bidder, sometimes at $150 per pound or more. From dive to dish, this is a logistical ballet. Every hour matters. Geoducks are fragile, highly perishable, and must arrive live or ultra-fresh to retain their sky-high value. In Washington State, the pressure is even higher. Strict quotas, real-time harvest tracking, and daily safety tests protect both the environment and the product's pristine reputation. But with big money comes big stress. A damaged siphon can destroy a sale. A sudden toxin alert can shut down harvests overnight. And if China halts imports, even temporarily, the entire supply chain feels the shock. One ban in 2014 wiped out millions in revenue in just weeks. Every clam, every diver, every shipment, part of a delicate high-wire act balancing biology, bureaucracy, and billion-dollar appetites. But this industry's lifeline, its entire future, depends on one thing: China. And that might be the biggest risk of all. Imagine this: the geoduck arrives in Shanghai, and nobody buys it. It's not just a nightmare scenario. It already happened. In early 2020, as COVID-19 swept the world, demand for live geoducks crashed almost overnight. With restaurants closed and markets frozen, prices in Alaska fell from $10 per pound to just $1. Entire fleets stood down. Divers stopped fishing. And now, a new kind of slowdown is brewing, one that may last much longer. China's economy is cooling. Youth unemployment is rising. A real estate crisis is shaking investor confidence. And luxury dining, it's taking a hit. That means fewer business banquets, fewer high-rolling dinners, and fewer reasons to pay $150 a pound for a clam, no matter how rare. On top of that, Beijing's anti-corruption crackdowns have made extravagant meals a liability. Government officials, once major consumers, are keeping a low profile. And then there are the sudden shocks, like health bans. In 2014, China halted geoduck imports from the US and Canada over toxin fears. Millions in losses. From a single government order, one buyer, one market, one policy change, and an entire industry is vulnerable. 90% of Canada's geoducks are exported to China. That level of dependence isn't just risky, it's dangerous. So, what's the backup plan? Can geoduck find new life in other markets? Or will the industry go bust if China pulls the plug? There is hope, from sustainable farms to culinary rebranding. But building a future means changing how the world sees this strange, squirting delicacy. Down here, it's cold, it's dark, and it's dangerous. But this is where the money is. 3 feet beneath the seafloor, where geoducks burrow deep and don't give up easily. Harvesting geoducks is slow, grueling work. Divers must extract them by hand using water jets, 1 clam at a time. Damage the neck, and the value drops instantly. But to fetch top dollar, $150 per pound in China, geoducks must arrive alive and pristine. Anything less, and the market won't bite. That makes shipping a logistical nightmare. Temperature control, oxygen packs, tight timelines. A single delay can turn a $10,000 shipment into trash. And when the stakes are this high, even the hint of contamination can shut down trade. In 2014, China banned all geoducks from the US and Canada after detecting biotoxins in just 1 batch. The result? Millions in losses. Overnight. During the pandemic, prices plummeted to just $1 per pound. Divers across Alaska and British Columbia were forced to stop fishing. And where there's money, there's crime. With geoducks fetching premium prices, poaching has surged, threatening fragile ecosystems and public health. Another hidden risk. Politics. In China, anti-corruption campaigns have made luxury seafood a target. Flashy banquets, expensive clams, and public scrutiny don't mix. 90% of British Columbia's geoducks go to China. That kind of dependence is like walking a tightrope in a hurricane. So what happens if the shipments stop, the market collapses, and the luxury disappears? It looks peaceful, untouched. A slice of pristine nature, hiding one of the world's most controversial farms. To some, geoduck farming is an environmental threat. Plastic tubes, nets, machinery. Locals argue it scars the landscape, disturbs marine life, and industrializes natural beauty. In Washington state, shoreline homeowners have sued farm operators. Coastal communities are divided, torn between tradition, property rights, and a multi-million-dollar industry. But scientists offer a different picture. Geoducks, like other bivalves, are natural water purifiers. They filter algae, reduce turbidity, and help rebalance ecosystems. The Environmental Defense Fund found that properly managed shellfish farms can actually benefit the ocean, and according to a 2004 biological assessment, funded by both shellfish companies and regulators, geoduck farming showed no proven long-term harm to endangered species in Puget Sound. So, is it destruction or sustainability? For some, it's a lifeline. For others, an invasion. What's at stake isn't just clams, it's the soul of the coast. In the end, the geoduck is more than a luxury dish. It's a battle between economic opportunity and ecological responsibility, and the question lingers, can we have both? They're ancient, they're weird, they're wildly valuable. But in a world of changing tastes, shifting economies, and ecological pressure, is this strange clam living on borrowed time? It's not the prettiest, it's not the fastest, it doesn't roar, shimmer, or fly. But this odd clam has built fortunes, fueled controversy, and fed tradition for centuries. It lives in silence, deep underground, for over 170 years. Its siphon can stretch 3 feet long, and yet, for something so strange, it holds one of the most precious spots on the world's most elite menus. But where do you draw the line between luxury and excess, between tradition and exploitation, between innovation and control? The geoduck is all of these things. So tell us, would you eat one? Should it be farmed more? Protected more? Left alone? Let us know what you think in the comments. Is geoduck the future of seafood or just a luxury we can't afford? Would you ever eat a geoduck? Should we be eating something that can live for 170 years? Is this the future of food or just another luxury we're over-consuming? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read everyone. Thanks for watching the Making of Anything channel, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.